Hi, it's Will from stormandcastle.com, and here's a quick look at a couple of foam projects that I've made for Halloween. If you're doing some display work, you want to have something out in the yard or something like that, there's a couple of nice ideas. And I just made them out of foam. One is a cauldron, the big cauldron there, and one is a gravestone. This tutorial won't show you step by step how to do it. That's all on my website if you want to go there and see more about it. You know how to make these. You still have time for Halloween. But I just wanted to say, foam works pretty good. I didn't paint the back of this so you can take a look. But it's just insulating foam, sold in like home improvement stores. And all I did was cut it and paint it. Pretty simple. Now sticking it in the ground, you use a couple of sticks, dowels or something like that, and you stick them in the ground first, and then you stick the gravestone onto it. If you stick them in here first and then try to stick them in the ground, it probably won't work. And as far as the cauldron goes, I'll pop in a couple of pictures here about how I made this. It took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to build it. Then took a little bit more time, but I'll give you the general process. It's really not that hard. This is the same kind of foam. I think I painted the bottom. It only weighs, I don't know, it doesn't weigh much. 10 or 15 pounds, but it's a nice sized cauldron if you want for your Halloween display. And all it is you can see this is a 2-inch thick foam here. It's just layers of 2-inch thick foam. And so first I cut a bunch of squares, 24 inches square, stacked them all up until I had the height of my cauldron, and then I cut them out, and you can use almost anything to cut them out. A hand saw, a foam cutting tool, a jigsaw. You cut out a bunch of rings, and you don't cut out the bottom 1 or 2 so you can put stuff in it. Then you glue them all in place, and then use any kind of tools, a rasp, a belt sander, any kind of tools, even knives, to shape it a bit, to get the nice shape. So you've got this ring on the top, to give it that, and then, alright, so just shape it. Now the foam is a little bit rough. I also went ahead and plaster of Paris over it, and it doesn't take long. Just mix up a couple of cups of plaster of Paris with a cup of water, and then brush it on to give it a little bit of a better finish. And I did 3 coats, and that doesn't take long at all because the plaster of Paris dries real fast. And that makes it look a little bit more like a metal cauldron. But that's completely optional. You could even paper mache over the foam if you wanted, and that would be, but that would take a long time to dry. So you can leave just the foam, plaster of Paris over it. You could even use plaster cloth that you could wrap around it, and then paint it. And the handle, any kind of wire, and you can find some kind of a thin tubular bar. This is part of an old chair that I had that I put on there. So it's a nice cauldron, and we can put something in here to make dry ice or something to make smoke. So if you're doing, Halloween displays, you might want to think about a cauldron or a gravestone. And I have more pictures and more information about how to make these on my website at stormandcastle.com.